Well,
if you were in here.
Yeah.
You know.
That's what I was going to say. Everything is live.
We're live for Michael Stand. He's there, sitting there.
Our biggest fan, too.
Oh, instead of the glasses clinks we can do.
Ooh. I think mine's going to sound pretty good, too.
All right, now that the girls are gone.
Ooh.
Oh, it's almost a seductive opening.
That was smooth. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Can we do a click in front of the mics? Nice. That was good. Can we get a...
That's a lame.
Happy Friday, man. We never film on Fridays.
Never.
This could be our craziest episode.
We're going to go wild.
Who brought the blow?
Well, it is a big day, particularly for Brian. He just hit a consistency streak on Tinder. That's when you've been single for so long, they start to pity you.
You know, you have no clue what you're talking about. They basically just tell you if you keep showing up for a week, you get a prize, but it's like a random prize. And the first time I did it, I got to like pick from a secret list of super hot women that already liked me. It was like such a good.
And those poor women are like, we get no likes. Like, we're on some weird exclusive list.
This consistency weirdo list. So then I did. I was like, oh shit! Like all you have to do is log in during the day. So like in the morning, I'll just open the app. I don't ever get anything out of Tinder. So
there's at least one dude out there that's like really into his consistency streak, and so he meets a girl he likes, and he's like, she's great, but I can't lose my consistency streak. I'm sorry.
I'm kind of crushing it on Tinder.
Tinder was there for me when you weren't.
Yeah. We talked every day for a week, and you didn't give me shit.
No, where's our consistency streak, huh?
I mean, the second prize after I did it was a rewind.
Prize.
Well, I mean, what else do I call it?
It's funny that it is a prize.
It's a rewind, so that means you can, like, if you accidentally dislike someone, you can go back.
Oh.
That's the only, but, like, how often is that helpful? Like, if you dislike, you know what? I changed my mind 2 seconds later.
It's kind of like when you go to the fridge and there's nothing in there you like, and then you look in the cabinet and you hate everything in there more, so you go back to the fridge.
Pretty much.
Yes, that's what this is. Like we know that you weren't hot on this girl before.
But you only get like the rewind from the next person.
Or maybe these things are happening fast.
It's not like I can click rewind and look back at all the last ones. It's like I have to make that decision very quickly. Like, you know what? I'm sorry, baby. I fucked up. And then she's not going to like me back. That's it.
It says, like, he rewound on you?
Like, no, I don't think so.
That'd be funny.
Unless, I don't know. No one's ever rewound on me, at least, that I've been notified.
You think girls are out there getting these consistency streak perks?
I think the same. Girls and guys dating apps are so different.
Very well. Girls,
they're just sifting through likes. Yeah. And whereas dudes, I am begging for.
When I did it, I would just do the numbers game. I wouldn't look at it. I would just swipe right on everyone.
Well, now they all have limits.
Yeah, but I would just do my limit for the day, and then I'm done for the day.
Yeah.
I'll check back later and see if.
But that's what I've been doing for.
I bet they catch on to that.
At least 7 days.
At least.
So, yeah, I don't know. I did the thing on Hinge where you change your age to, like, 90 plus, but you don't make it a deal breaker. So,
Why?
Because they basically look for everyone that's in that range, and then when they obviously can't find them, they serve you, like, better people, I guess. That was the idea, because it's like it's upset that it has not fulfilled your age requirements. So it's like, here's someone else that you would otherwise not have gotten.
Tinder's gonna think he's gonna be thrilled with this 50-year-old.
I mean, you'll get the occasional. I've only done this on Hinge, and I'll get the occasional like 40-some-odd-year-old that will like me too, and I'm like, I don't know what their intentions are here, but most of the time it's still just girls, within my age range. Sometimes like it's too young, like 22, 23. And 23, I don't know. I'm open. Any YouTube ladies out there? Any Moose Lounge fans? I don't know if I want to date someone if they were just like obsessed with me from the Moose Lounge. That'd be weird as fuck.
At this point in our podcast career, that would be very strange. You can't be one of our first 100 fans.
Yeah, and then also be like obsessed with so you could be like a casual fan.
Like, smooth rhymes, good times, yeah.
She's got a tattoo. Yeah, no, I'd be definitely freaked out, especially because leave some more comments at that point. Reach out to something else.
Worst fan ever.
Yeah,
just none.
Silently obsessed with it.
Yeah.
I'm sure we have a bunch of those guys.
Quietly. Yeah, and they're using some weird browser so it doesn't log as a view. We have a bunch of these crypto fans.
Off the grid fans. We have a ton of off the grid fans.
What they do is thousands of them get together and watch it on one screen. Yeah. So it only counts as one view.
They rent out a movie theater.
It's our
one
Philippines.
View. We have those 3 people that view every episode all the way, and it's just a couple hundred people at each location.
Yeah, yes. We're quietly the biggest podcast ever.
Mm-hmm.
What was I going to say? Oh, that's did you know, this is sort of related, in Mexico, cartel activity goes down on Saturdays. The reason being, Saturday nights, if, and only if, a new Dragon Ball Z episode is dropping. Because the copyright to get animation from the United States is much stricter than Japan, so they love anime in Mexico. It is huge, particularly Dragon Ball Z. So much so that there is a statistically noticeable drop in cartel activity.
Because they're all at home watching DBZ?
On nights when a new Dragon Ball Z episode comes out. So really, when you think about it, every time the Dragon Ball Z editors take a break, they are killing people in Mexico.
I was going to say, they could stop the cartels by just dropping a new episode every day.
New episode every day.
That should be their anti-cartel forces should just be focusing on cartoon creation.
This should be Trump's Mexico strategy.
Just more DBZ.
He funds
DBZ.
The Dragon Ball Z anime, whatever studio.
Well, let's just get AI on it.
AI?
Get some AI to start making DBZ like that Forever Seinfeld show. Mm-hmm. We just have a Forever DBZ show. Keep them at bay constantly.
But then we have the same issue, the Forever Seinfeld, where they do they slowly veer into Nazism out of nowhere. That's they're already more blonde hair, more powerful.
That's if that's the trade-off, we have now neo cartel monsters. They're busy still. They're watching.
Good news. The cartel problem in Mexico is solved. Bad news. They're now all Nazis. Dragon Ball
Z Nazis.
Yeah. They all have to just cut off sleeves.
Dragon Ball Nazis?
It's Nazis, but they have cut off sleeves and they're all ripped.
Yeah.
They gel their hair straight up.
Then they go Super Saiyan meth.
Yeah, that's what there's shoving more.
Nazis were just doing a ton of meth.
I guess you don't really eat meth, right? You smoke meth.
I think you smoke it predominantly, but I think you can eat it. You can inject it.
Yeah, you feel something if you eat it.
I'm sure.
You don't eat meth and you're like, I'm going to go
We're going to do no Googling this episode. We're just going to
we can Google stuff like that.
Nope.
No one's like, oh, they Googled it. Let me read along with them on the Wikipedia article in the...
I want to take a vote first so we can figure out who's right or wrong. Or if we're both right or wrong. Can you eat meth?
Oh, okay. Well, yes, you can eat anything. I mean, what do you mean?
Can you feel the effects after eating? You can eat weed, but obviously it doesn't. Well,
yeah,
you have to bake it. I guess then you could probably bake meth. That would be fun. Meth cookies.
I bet that it's almost never eaten. I bet that is. They're maybe technically it'll be one of those answers. So it's technically we could maybe do it this way, but
yeah, you will if you ate cocaine.
Yeah, that gets you high.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll ever see the bad guys in movies will dip their finger and rub it in their gums.
Yeah, that's gumming cocaine though.
Yeah, but it touches your gums and you eat it.
Sure, but if you're just
feeding tube so it doesn't touch your gums? Well, we need to test this out.
It's not that you're definitely putting it in your gums when you're doing that versus actively eating something. Would it get your effects on your tongue and whatnot? Everything else? Probably tastes
I think so.
Horrendous and you'd get sick, I would imagine.
I don't think there's anything special about your gums.
If you sprinkled cocaine on brownies and just ate the brownies, would you definitely get high?
I would say for sure.
So then I would assume that if you sprinkled meth on brownies, similarly you would feel it like that. Because it's a rock.
But maybe, I think it's a little more like weed. That's kind of why you smoke it, I don't know.
Well, you smoke crack. And then cocaine is partly crack-ish.
We'll just have to try this.
I'm going to Google it.
Definitive answers.
Fine. We'll go to the internet. Can you eat meth?
Yeah, we apologize to our fans that love the small box above our heads. What should the box be instead? We're going to have a little gap there. We could put the Moose Lounge logo. We could put
I'm not getting an easy answer. Can you eat methamphetamine?
They're like, oh, we weren't sure which meth.
I was like, can you eat methods? There are several ways to take crystal meth, including snorting and injecting, but can you eat meth? This blog post will explore a form of meth known as parachuting.
Oh, he does a deep dive.
Parachuting meth is a term used to describe wrapping meth in some sort of edible paper like a tissue and then swallowing it whole.
Okay.
It takes about 20, 30 minutes, and then the high kicks in.
I've heard about that for MDMA.
Yeah. One of the first side effects and risk of parachuting meth is excessive talking.
Oh, yes.
Get that guy out of here. You wouldn't shut the fuck up.
You know how you get quiet when you smoke meth? No
excessive
issues
talking, dry mouth, fast breathing, irregular heartbeat. Those feel like way more important than the talking. Pounding in the ears, agitation, dark-colored urine.
Also chatty.
Intense feelings of pleasure. That's I guess the side effect.
It is a side effect.
Yeah, obstructed bowels, overdose, hepatitis, stomach pain. Sounds like no good. Why do people parachute meth?
Because
according to the Department of Justice, most people smoke meth with a glass pipe. Some people parachute for the milder high. I guess it's
less.
Yeah. Smoking, snorting, and injecting meth are felt almost instantly. They're very powerful. Meth is a stimulant drug, so when you consume it in the traditional ways, it goes right to the brain for dopamine. Eating meth still causes the body to produce more dopamine, but when eaten, it's got to go through the digestive system before it enters the bloodstream.
Imagine someone tells you they're doing meth, and you're like, "What meth?" Like, don't worry, I'm just eating it.
It's just it's a parachute.
It's a parachute, for a milder high.
No access to paraphernalia as well. Some meth users may feel cravings at inopportune times when they don't have their pipe, so they just eat it. I guess you have to eat a lot of it, though, obviously.
If it's milder.
Yeah.
But then it's like, why are you eating it?
Yeah.
I'm going to eat more meth.
Because you don't have your pipe on you.
Yeah, that's true.
And you need it.
And you're in a bind.
Also, it's like, I feel like if you smoked meth, you are pretty much immediately high, like the second you smoke it. Versus, let's say you have a really annoying family dinner to go to, pop a meth parachute, 20 minutes, it's kicking in. So you're not like meth the fuck out.
Okay.
You're just like...
You just want a little bit. I think when you're at the point you're doing meth around your family is like, you got to get out.
Not just around your family, it's a really annoying family.
Oh, really?
Yeah, super annoying.
Like, they're going to be badgering me about my addiction. I need some meth while I do.
Yeah, they won't shut up on my addiction.
Broken record, these guys.
Not even smoking it, I'm fucking eating it.
Can't they see I'm toning it back?
Jeez, it's a milder high, Mom.
Get off my back! I did watch this mini documentary on meth.
Closer to the mic.
This mini documentary on meth. Well, I'm like watching it. I go red, and I'm like, is this all going to sound like plosives?
No, a mini doc on meth.
Well, it was like an episode of like a series on different drugs, whatever. And it was following a meth head in San Francisco who was really great at programming. So he would do free, because meth is so close to
Adderall.
Yeah. He said he started using it when he had a proper job. So then he's like, it helps a ton. I did amazing.
It's probably
It was a steep drop from there. But now he's like, yeah, so he'll still has a laptop and will log on to just do freelance jobs. He's homeless. That's all he has. And do just enough freelance work to get some more meth. And then he'll smoke the meth to do more freelance work. It's a vicious cycle.
I think if he does enough meth, he can get enough freelance work to maybe get out. Or I guess it's just you'd buy more meth.
That's right. He's homeless because he doesn't have enough meth.
Yeah.
With enough meth, anything is possible.
If we front load him a little bit of meth, I'm sure he'll get to work immediately. That's definitely he does a shit ton of work, buys a shit ton of meth, does the meth, doesn't do a bunch of work, needs to do more work. I don't know. It must be diminishing. Because I feel like you're going to need to do more meth.
It loses its effect.
Yes.
Yeah.
If only work was like that, too. If you just... I guess it kind of is.
Now that you pointed out, maybe I don't think it's a good strategy.
No.
I don't think
I think it's a losing
I don't think it's going to work.
Well, he is homeless, as you mentioned.
Yes, he is.
Which is, I feel like, not the least common thing for a super meth addict who's on a meth show?
Yep, I think
Do
it's...
you think he gets paid?
It's a good question.
And do you think he just buys meth immediately with that? Or do they
yes, anything, any money he gets, I'm confident of
That's
that.
kind of fucked up, though. They're like, oh, we're going to film you as a meth head
Yeah.
and give you money knowing... Like, I bet you they all know.
But then it's also fucked up to be like, we're going to film you and make a bunch of money off this. We're not giving it to you because you might do that thing you love.
Well, it's like, we're going to film you and help. I guess he'd say no, probably.
Yeah, I'd be like, help. Meth is amazing.
Help me get more meth?
Yeah, like, I could use help with that.
Kind of a pain.
Isn't that why there's a lot of homeless people in New York? It's like there's shelter for all of them, but the shelters also, you can't do drugs in there.
I think also the shelters are just dangerous and not as good as you would imagine. Like,
no, I don't doubt that, but I have to imagine it's better than
I don't know. I don't know how many of the homeless are actually drug addicts. Like, I think more, there definitely are some, but I think a lot are just, like, homeless and out on, their luck, essentially.
You think so?
I would guess a lot.
But I think
not the necessarily
if you're just
ones
out
that,
on the
like,
luck, I think you do go to the shelter because you're like, I can't sleep on the sidewalk.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So the shelters are crowded for sure, I think. Because, like, the typical homeless person you see is the crazy methed out one that's on the sidewalk, yelling at you. But I feel like there's probably a lot more people that are homeless but, like, working a job still and just going back to a shelter. And I can't imagine they're, like,
I don't know
on drugs.
But like you said, the crazy meth ones are the ones I see. So that's,
exactly.
In my mind, that is a homeless
I think that's like a really small percentage of the actual amount of homeless people.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah.
So I could see it going either way.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. There's definitely some homeless people that are just
I'm sure they
lost their jobs, and then
Yeah.
it's so expensive to live around here.
There was I kept seeing this video on Instagram or something about a guy. He's a millionaire, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna not use any money for a year and, like, let this house and everything. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I'm gonna see if I can get from $0 to $1 million in this year. And, like, he's, like, gonna be homeless and work his way up.
I think I saw that as well.
Yeah.
Did it work out for him?
I didn't watch it. It seemed too clickbaity, and, like, they were dragging it out, and I'm like, this is not.
I feel like it was just like a marketing ordeal for his, like, new company that he started in that video.
Maybe.
Like, that was, like,
I didn't
part of
even
how
watch it that long.
Which would honestly be kind of smart.
What would you do if you had $0? What's your first step? And no family help or whatever.
$0?
Yeah, first step to get back out.
Do I have, like, a phone or anything?
No, nothing. You're just clothes on your back. You're on the street. And no, like...
I would just go...
No, like, crash on my friend's couch,
I would go door to door to, like, a bunch of shops and restaurants and just ask if I can...
Ask for a job?
Yeah.
And you got to do it fast while your clothes are clean.
That's what I'm saying, like, day one. That's
day one while you're still...
Just so I can start, like, buying food.
Uh-huh.
But, yeah, sleeping, I would probably sleep outside. It'd be brick. Why don't I have friends?
Because it's sort of like cheating, like for climbing your way up.
I mean, I don't even know where a shelter is if I don't even have a phone. I'm sure I could find one, but like...
Yeah, but the problem is no one approaches you to tell you that until you look homeless enough. So, like, those first few days where you're still clean and stuff.
Would this be maniacal if I went to a bar and, like, just really put it all in on, like, trying to go home with a girl?
No, dude.
For first night?
I know a comic that does that.
That's crazy. What, does he live homeless?
He actually has a kind of entertaining... He makes entertaining videos. He's not homeless in New York City, but he makes almost no money. And so what he does is, like, he'll go... He's doing one right now. He's in, like, Mexico. He snuck into a full, like, a all-inclusive resort. And he saw the wristbands they had. And he, like, ordered some similar ones on Amazon. And he's been wearing it and just eating there.
Wow.
Or, like, he hoboed...
Yeah, don't say his name.
I won't. But, like, he's putting it on YouTube. I'm not. This is not a secret.
He's putting his crimes
yes,
on YouTube?
all of this is on YouTube. But the other thing, like, he hopped on a freight train that was going from New York to D.C. and, like, wrote it down.
People do that.
Yeah, and in every video, he's like, all right, tonight I'm going to the bar to see if I can go home with a girl to sleep there tonight. And then 2 seconds later, so that didn't really work out, so
I'm at a hotel.
I'm sleeping on the roof again.
The roof?
He's been sleeping on the roof at this place.
Where?
At the all-inclusive resort.
Oh, in Mexico.
Yeah, I think it's Mexico. I don't know. It's on a beach somewhere.
Warm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Beach.
Yeah, I mean, if you're homeless in a warm area, your life is definitely, I won't say easier because you're homeless, but
a little
you don't have to deal with the winter. Yeah, the winter is like
nice.
Hugely devastating, I imagine. It's so fucking cold.
If I was homeless, like truly homeless, I would, like, migrate with the seasons,
Yeah, but like, what do you mean migrate?
Like, just kind of wander south as the fall approaches.
And die?
Why would I die?
How would you, like, well, the reason there's so many homeless people in cities is because that's their best chance of getting survivals. You know, if you're in the middle of fucking nowhere on your way down south on the highway.
I'd stock up my shopping cart.
Well, yeah, I don't think so. Like, you'd be walking through towns that are, like, not available to be
for
shelling out
for
the homeless.
homeless.
Yeah, it's like the highway for so long.
Highway towns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I always thought, like, when I was in college, we had free laundry on campus, and I was like, why don't, like, homeless people come here? I'm like, because it's fucking the middle of Farmville, Connecticut. Like, there's no homeless people around here.
And there's probably an implied agreement where you're like, don't tell the homeless people.
Well,
please, like, just use your best judgment.
Again,
here.
I don't think I saw a single homeless person while there.
That's because they don't know about the free laundry. If that changed,
I don't think there's a lot of homeless
changes.
people in, like, residential parts of the world, like small suburban towns.
Yeah, no, there's just not.
No.
Yeah.
Because, like, what you would be like, what the fuck are you doing here?
And, like, when you live in a small residential town, 90% of it is because that's where your family grew up, you know? So, like, you're just not going to be homeless. At worst, you're going to be back in your mom's basement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so your mom kicks you out. I mean, there's definitely, like, Stanford has homeless people.
Yeah, but Stanford's a pretty big city now.
For sure.
Stanford, did we talk about this last time? Like, has 10 times the citizens of Greenland.
Yeah, how big is Greenland?
Greenland's 56,000. And I think Stanford, a little less, like 5 times.
Stanford's like 300K.
Yeah, something like that. That's
I've
wild.
That is kind of crazy.
Whole country. Stanford, if we all got together, Stanford, Connecticut, could conquer Greenland.
Could we? Yeah.
Overwhelmingly.
Well, I'm assuming that they have a little more, like, unified defense setup as an entire nation.
Just numbers.
But like, you know, how many army men do they have to Stanford's, like, fighters?
Stanford's police force.
Yeah, how big is that?
Does Greenland have an army?
I don't know.
Let's give that a Google. I think they don't.
You don't think they have an army?
I think they have, like, a Coast Guard, but I think there's no... There are a few countries. Like, doesn't Switzerland have no army?
The defense of Greenland is a responsibility of the Kingdom of Denmark.
Okay. Oh, right, because it's like a... It's
Or
like...
the
I forgot. Greenland is to Denmark what Puerto Rico is to us.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they would have some backing.
Well, does Denmark have an army?
I'm sure.
All these... like these Scandinavian countries, I'm always skeptical.
You mean the Royal Danish Army?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. The word Danish is in their name.
the land force branch of the Danish Armed Forces.
That'd be like if the French army was like the Crepe Brigade. the Danish force.
the Belgian Waffleteers. They have about 7,000 to 9,000 troops plus reservists.
Yeah. That's like, you know, your home.
We really need your help here.
Yeah. That's like, all of Stanford is coming. We need to pull you guys in.
How big
here.
is the Stanford police force?
That's a good question. I bet it's less than 7,000. I don't know.
The Stanford, Connecticut police chief is named Timothy Shaw.
All right, so that's at least one. We're starting there.
What city is the largest police force? New York, 36,000 officers.
Oh, so Stanford might... Well...
Stanford probably has way less than...
No, I know, but I'm trying to scale
fourth?
that. New York's like 8 million to 300,000. So it's like 3 to each one. 1/24. Yeah, so
Probably
Stanford
like
has less.
couple
Stanford probably
thousand.
has less than that. Yeah.
If that.
Less than 6 or 7. Yeah.
Like 2,000.
Between 1 and 2,000.
Yeah. Yeah, we'd be getting
But
our shit kicked.
They're all
the
aces.
Danish army.
They're all aces.
The Danish army? I think they would have our
They've
number.
never been to...
Yeah, where's this fight taking place?
That's true.
Somewhere neutral.
The mall, the Stanford Mall.
No.
It's in the pit.
We'd have to pick a neutral ground.
I don't know, one of the empty islands that's in Canada between us.
I was thinking like Italy.
That works, but we have to travel so much further than them. That's not fair. It's got to be between us. Canada, somewhere in like. Have you ever looked like most of Canada is just empty islands?
Just woods. Too.
Yeah, just
all right.
Nothingness.
Pick a little battle in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Could be like a X-Men scene.
Yeah, battle
I
in
feel like
the
they
woods.
fight a lot in the woods.
Yeah, there's a few good wood scenes.
Good wood scenes.
Uh-huh.
It's
I
the
like it.
best movie wood scene.
Well, you just have me thinking of X-Men one. It's the one with Logan where he gets picked up, thrown onto the tree trunk that impales him from behind. That's what she said. But it's like, that's just a very memorable scene. Because you love Wolverine so much, and now he's like old and dead. It's a double whammy.
He comes back, don't worry.
Does he?
Wolverine and Deadpool 3. Or I guess
but that's like a different universe, I think.
Yeah,
like,
but I mean, I think he takes over in that universe. They never die. It's kind of hilarious that Marvel was like looking for a way to not kill off everyone, but still be able to kill people off. They were like, "Holy shit, universes! We'll just you can't. There's a billion of universes, infinite universes."
You know, this is a controversial topic in the comic book community. I know this because my art teacher in senior year of high school was obsessed. There was a big moment in comic history where Superman dies. And this was like crazy. People couldn't believe it. It was the most popular comic at the time. They're like, that's nuts. They would kill him off. So it was huge. Drew huge attention. But then like 2 weeks later, they brought him back to life because they're like, no, he was in like super Kryptonian sleep, you know? And people were like, the death of Superman killed all death in comic books because they're like, they're just going to bring him back because it's a money machine.
They can't kill off the lead unless, like, that's why Game of Thrones is really good because they killed off, spoiler alert, the fucking first episode, basically.
Sure. And like 20 years now for the books.
But that was, like, pretty telling that this show is just going to take your favorite character and then fucking kill him. I was watching, I think I was watching some video about someone who plays D&D. Have you ever played that? Or
I've never played it, but like I kind of.
I've never played it as well.
I know it involves dice rolling and a campaign.
Yeah. So it was like a TikTok where the guy was asking how to gracefully back out of a game because his brother really wanted him to play, and he's not into it. And they were like, "Damn, that's kind of fucked up. But what you should do is like." Die in like a heroic way, and if your brother's the campaign manager, he can basically do whatever he wants. And so I feel like it would be kind of sick to play a D&D if you had like a cool, like a well campaign story.
Yeah, people are obsessed with it. I'm sure it's great.
And I feel like it would be like a Game of Thrones-esque where characters are just able, it's who cares? You can kill off someone and like, I would like that if it was accessible and like guaranteed to be fun, but I feel like it would be a lot.
It's a lot to get into it. Yeah. There's so much to learn. And don't you have to like make your own character and like write his backstory and his powers and make...
I think a lot of it is like in the fly or on the fly rather. Like when something happens, then you have like to answer a question, roll dice to decide what power you have, X, Y, Z.
Well, I did. I saw a meme on D&D recently, and it was like playing D&D and it was like you tell the taskmaster you want to pet the dog. You roll a 1. The taskmaster, you punch the dog. It's just like it goes the opposite the lower it is.
That's kind of funny.
That is funny. I laughed. So I think it's like I attack the dragon and you roll. And if it's like a good roll, it's like you slayed the dragon. If it's a bad roll, it's like the dragon rapes you or whatever.
Jesus.
Whatever the opposite of slaying a dragon. The dragon slays you.
Yeah, I feel like that's a little more on brand for dragons.
It depends on who the taskmaster? Dungeon master. I kept saying
Game master? I don't know.
I think it's dungeon master.
Isn't that another game? Dungeons and Dragons?
Wasn't that what we're talking about?
Oh, yeah, D&D.
Yeah. What were you talking about?
No, that's Isn't there another game? Two similar?
Snakes and ladders.
With like the Dungeon Master? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
If anyone out there wants us to join their D&D in the New York City area.
Yeah. And if you can assure us it takes less than 5 hours to play. That's the other.
Jeez. Well, can't you just do a couple hours and then pause
and come back tomorrow?
Yeah, I think they last for a while.
Isn't there some like game that's been going on for 40 years?
40 years?
Give it a goog. I think... I've been getting some D&D videos in my algorithm recently. I would prefer
if you didn't ask it like that.
Give it a splooge. Splooge all over this question.
Longest D&D game campaign. D&D, Robert A. Wardoff's D&D has been going on for 43 years.
Nice.
Uninterrupted from 1982.
Oh, man. You know that they've had some real live deaths in that campaign. Like the players.
It's probably like really difficult to make that work.
I would have loved to have been at that.
500 characters have come and gone, 50 dynasties, and over 30,000 hand-painted miniatures.
Dude, I would love to be at the funeral for one of the guys that dies. The guy's up there, he's like, we can't roll 20s all the time. And Doug, he rolled a 1. And we all know that that's a part of life. You roll the 1, you punch the dog. It's all it's the circle of life. It's all D&D.
Everyone rolls a die in their honor.
Yeah. This last 20 years of playing Dungeons and Dragons, it's been magnificent. That's a 20 roll in my book. It's all just dice references.
Gets buried with all his figurines.
Mm-hmm. His own terracotta army, but it's all it's all his D&D figurines.
Do you want to get buried with anything, or just I don't give a shit?
I don't know. I love the idea of a Viking funeral, but the more I read about it, the worse it sounds.
Your whole family has to be there, right?
Yeah, I just more of the shooting an arrow into a burning boat part. I'd love for my family to be there.
No. I think they have to be on the boat.
Oh. Well, they're going to hate to hear that.
They're going to be
very disappointed.
You're going to be sick in the hospital. Like, Dad, you need to pull through.
Well, if you ever wanted to get your family concerned about your health,
tell them we're doing it Viking style.
We go down together. So,
wait, so you're concerned that they missed the boat?
It's like everything has to be perfect. Like first
Can't
of all,
a bunch of guys have flaming arrows? And
it's not just that. It's not just the missing. It's like you miss the wind turns, and now the burning boat's coming back towards my family with me in it. It doesn't burn all the way, and then some poor child finds my charred corpse on a log like a week later. And like it kind of needs to be at sea somewhere remote.
That's what I'm saying. If we go out to sea and we put you on like a tiny little boat, and we don't even have to do the arrow, we can just light you a fire.
I'll have to maybe like acquire. No, I don't want the arrow, man. That's half of it.
Sure, buddy. We'll do the arrow.
Everyone's got. It's gonna be a clause in my will. You only get if no one hits the boat. All of this goes.
All the money goes to charity.
The dog shelter becomes the fanciest.
The punching dog shelter.
Yeah, or it either becomes the fanciest dog shelter of all time, or some dog shelter inherits a horrible debt. They left everything to you in our will. We owe $100,000.
Can you? I guess you can't just leave your debt to random people. Obviously.
No, it'd be fun if you could.
It would be nice.
Yeah. Like the last fuck you.
Does your family get your debt a lot of the time?
I don't really know how it works.
I think that's not uncommon, but I can't imagine it's...
It's like if they pass on the estate to you, you inherit everything, I think. But, like, I don't know.
Does debt get passed down? No. Debt is not usually passed down, but it's passed down to the debtor's personal estates. So I guess if your house is in lien... And, like, you get the house. It's not like the house isn't magically out.
Yeah, so you can either get rid of the house or take on the debt. And I see.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's fair. I don't really know.
Yeah, I guess you could just not take the house, but that would be kind of sad. Especially after losing a family member.
Yeah, and then you're just real mad at your uncle.
And
you son of a bitch. This house is beautiful, and now I owe a lot of money.
I don't know if I want to get buried with anything, but... I feel like whatever someone wants to bury with, like, go crazy. Like, if it makes them feel bad, get it in there. Unless it's, like, something weird. Like, a dildo. Because Brian loves a dildo. Kind of pissed about that.
It's a suction cup one just on top of the coffin.
Although that would be kind of funny from the homies.
You get lowered down, and they're like, now for the ceremonial ring toss. And they all have to try and toss a ring onto the dildo. I don't know. It depends on... My thought of what happens when you die changes all the time. So it depends on whatever I'm thinking whenever I write my will. I'm sure it'll...
Don't you have to be in, like, solid state of mind when you make any changes to your will?
Yeah, but people change it. Like, my parents... changed their will a few times, they've mentioned.
Have they been in solid state of mind?
Oh, who knows? That is... It would be funny to change it a lot. It's just a constant threat.
Yeah.
You don't even say it. You're like,
take my fucking bitch sister out.
No, I was imagining to your kids. You're like, oh, you're not going to clean your room? Sorry, I just have to call the lawyer. Oh. Yes, Jeremy? No. Not necessary anymore.
Can you just write your own will on your own?
Yeah.
Like, and make changes to it after you're like, you're not going to clean your room?
you got an eraser. That would be.
Or does a lawyer have to I'm sure a lawyer has to certify it.
I think there's got to be some legal because the lawyer deals with it.
Well, yeah, because then you could just be weight or drugs.
There's a website. I know there's a website you can do it. I've heard ads for it on Pandora.
Do we have wills? What happens if we die?
Right now, kind of goes to the state, basically.
No way. My family wouldn't get anything?
What would they get if you did will them?
Not much.
Okay.
I would hope.
Painting, one painting of a Miller Lite can.
All my NFTs.
Yes. Now worth $0.0004.
I got assets, bro.
My Netflix subscription, still good for 14 days.
Peacock for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Just
Luckily
saying,
you bought this on an annual basis.
People are entitled to my... I got some skis. Who gets those? Not you. That's for sure.
Anyone. Who knows? No, whoever bothers to go through.
I think my family gets my stuff.
I think they can just come take it,
Steal it?
It's that'd be crazy.
From the state?
You can't touch it after someone dies because they didn't say who it goes to. And so there's just the empty apartments.
Alex is so annoyed, my roommate.
Yeah.
They can't move any of my shit. Fuck. I mean, yeah, whatever's my bank account.
Yeah, I know. These are all great
I think my
questions.
family would get it. I hope my family gets it.
I think bank account goes to the estate. Just Google that. What happens to the money in your bank account
if you don't have
without
a will? Happens to the money in your bank if you die without a will. If you die without a will, the money in your bank will go through a probate. Probate is a legal process that involves a court overseeing the distribution of your assets. So I think the court would justifiably give it to my family. Hopefully.
But they better be nice to that judge.
Yeah, my family needs this nest
egg. They're waiting for you to die. They're like, we know Brian's doing well.
Yeah, the Moose Lounge has been killing it. First comedy show on Tuesday.
We did have our first comedy show.
We had some inclement weather that I think made it a little difficult for attendees to get out, but still saw
16 people.
Some good faces out there. Yeah, thanks for everyone that showed up. Appreciate y'all.
One of them might listen to this, maybe.
Me.
Yeah, there you go.
Thanks, Brian. This one's for you, big dog.
Maybe Melissa knows she has this shirt.
Yeah,
you missed out on a chance to get a free T-shirt.
Free Moose Lounge T-shirt.
So stay tuned.
There'll be more.
Yeah,
we didn't tell you guys.
Was it? We didn't mention it at all. It was a great lineup, though.
It was. The comedians were very funny. Thanks to the comedians that came as well. I would like to do another one, I think.
Yeah, we'll do another one.
If that's okay with you.
For sure.
Would you want to do it at the same venue or change it up?
Yeah, talk to them if they let us.
Yeah.
If we hit $1,000. Although, I asked the bartender at the end, I was like, hey, do you have the numbers on hand? How much was sold here? And he goes, I don't think you need to worry about that. And I was like, oh.
Is that a good?
I don't think you make those decisions.
Hey, we love him.
Yeah, we do but it's we go to the manager and we're like, but Casey.
He said not to worry. I probably bought 4 or 5 drinks there, and he only charged me for 2.
He did the same thing to me.
And in the moment, I was like, bro, thank you. And I threw him a big tip, and then when I was leaving, I was like, fuck, that's going to cut into our...
Luckily, a lot of people were getting food.
Yeah.
I think that's going to help.
Idiots.
Yeah.
Hungry idiots.
And some of the comedians were drinking a lot, so that helped. Yeah, it was good.
Hungry idiots and alcoholic comedians. It's the perfect combo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know a lot of sober comedians?
Loads.
I feel like it's...
Because they don't shut up about it on stage. So I've been sober and the hardest part of being sober is blah, 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 blah. It's nuts.
Easy, bro.
It's just, there are certain tropes where I'm like, I know that you've heard hundreds of people say this on stage. What are you doing? Come on, man. Just, or still.
But it probably works. No?
Sometimes no, yes, sometimes no. But even so, you're never going to stand out. You know what I mean? It's like going up. Dimitri Martin has a great joke. He goes, I will now start my comedy set. Airplane food is bad. Dating is hard. Black people might be more different. Comedy done. It's
I feel like it's better than going out there and just saying you're a raging alcoholic. If you're going to get one...
I think raging alcoholic's funnier, personally.
Do you know any comedians that do that? I feel like a lot of comedians joke about the comedian lifestyle being
Sure, yeah.
Drinking and late nights.
Well, the big, like the curmudgeon-y old comedians now are like complain that the younger comedy scene is all almost straight edge. Like they'll smoke weed, but no one really drinks that much, or just coke and stuff.
Pussies.
Like there's a documentary from the Boston comedy scene in the '80s called "When Stand Up Stood Out." It's like, do you know if you heard of Stephen Wright? Mm-hmm. It's like that's what he came out of. You'd recognize. He was huge, but you watch it and you're like, this is not my stand-up experience. It's like the lines of Coke everywhere. They're like, we'll pay you in cash, or we could just give you a bag of Coke.
I didn't recognize him in this first
No,
picture.
definitely not in that picture.
The older image.
He's changed.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. The years have been hard.
He's got a big-ass forehead. He looks fine.
Yeah, but basically...
They're not paying him in Coke
No
anymore.
one has offered to pay me in Coke.
Would you accept?
People rarely offer to pay me at all.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's just payment, bro. You take that
Rare.
shit.
You saw it. You paid the comedians. They all were like, whoa.
Yeah, I paid him in cash. That's me.
Yes. Well, you offered you like cash or a blowjob. Yeah, you choose.
Giving or receiving.
Yeah, either
you
end.
also choose.
Either end of this blowjob. But yeah, they weren't expecting it. Like
Who's expecting a blowjob after?
They definitely were not expecting the blowjob. I can't believe they all took you up. But it's even the cash. Yeah.
I did hand one of the guys the cash, like the smooth way, and he seemed to appreciate that too. So
Oh yeah, who should do that?
made a comedian chuckle. That's always a good one.
Who was that too?
The tall one.
Tobin.
Tobin.
Yeah.
So that's a tall name.
It's a tall name. It starts with T.
Do you think his parents are tall and they just knew?
I hope his dad's tall. Otherwise, his dad is like, whose fucking kid is this? Because he's not like just a little tall. He's like...
He's really tall.
Really tall.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty rare that you see a super tall kid and their parents aren't also. Like, one of them at least super tall.
You know, I pity him because he's 4 or 5 inches taller than I am. And I am already at max height for the mic stands in
What does he do?
comedy clubs. Well, he has to take it out.
Every time?
Yeah. Most comedians do, but it's not even an option for him.
Yeah.
He has to.
What if he got, like, a personalized... That'd be a good
He
gig
brings
for
his
him.
own mic stand.
That would be kind of funny,
Yeah, it
too.
would be funny.
And a kaleidoscope.
We become better friends. I'll get that for him.
Or if you're ever, like, in front of him, you can have it ready. That would be really cool of you and random. And kind of creepy, honestly.
That would be creepy.
Tobin, if you're watching this, forget about this. So that we
can't
can become better friends.
We can't believe you're watching this.
Can't believe anyone's watching this, honestly. A couple of your friends mentioned that they liked the show.
Yeah. But when they say that, they mean they watch the jokes we post and they like those.
Yeah.
That's usually what they mean.
Yeah. We needed those hardcore listeners.
We got, what, 15 hours of watch time on the last one?
That's like a trip to Australia.
Granted, it's split up a little. I think we can just approximate it. Like 15 people kind of watched it most of the way through.
15, you think?
Well, it's probably like, you know, some watched it half, but there were some big jumps.
All right.
It's not zero.
Was that A+ editing this time?
Yeah, people liked it. The view to watch time ratio was great.
I don't think I did anything.
Whatever, man.
Otherwise.
The thumbnail.
Yeah, that was it.
Leonard says my older brother who runs a successful YouTube channel.
I checked it the other day. It's like 3 million subscribers.
It's nuts. But he says that the thumbnail and the title are like 80% of what gets you views. And the last 20% is the content.
Should we just start slutting ourselves out? Brian shows
boobs.
hole.
Just boobs.
Brian and Eddie both show hole.
Well, dude, did you ever watch The Whitest Kids You Know? Have you heard of that show?
I think so.
It's a sketch comedy show from like the late 2000s. It was like a deep cable sketch comedy show.
No, I don't remember seeing this.
Well, anyway, they have I've been watching their sketches online, and at one point they were promoting a DVD, and this was their promotional strategy. At the end of every sketch, they would be like, they would step forward and they'd be like, "That sketch is over, but now we'd like to boost DVD sales." And they'd bring out hot girls to flash their boobs, and they'd be blurred out, and they'd be like, "These won't be blurred out on the DVD." And that was the end of the sketch of like a bunch of them. They were like, and just sell their DVD.
I'm sure it works.
I am positive it works. It's great.
You bought a DVD, didn't
Especially,
you?
this is pre-2010. This is like 2007. That's like...
Those were sought-after
Yes.
visuals.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I remember I went to use the bathroom at my mom's tailor, who was just a bunch of old Italian guys, like really old. They were always watching soccer and just like sitting. Well, there's one tailor pretty much and 4 dudes in there. And I used the bathroom once, and I didn't realize, I guess, at first, but I eventually did realize they had like 200 porn magazines in there, just stacked. It was like the whole. That's why I didn't notice at first, because it was so many magazines.
When was this? Like the last few years?
No, it was like 12, 13.
Gotcha.
I was a kid. Fucking kid. So then, once I learned that, my mom was like, going to the tail. I'm like, hey, can I come? And every time I'm like, Mom, I have to go to the bathroom. She's like, okay.
You're like, Mom, don't you think this could be hemmed in a little bit?
Just get a bunch of stuff hemmed, Mom. Like a lot of things. And I gotta poop. Because, it was hard to come by. That was like the first time I'd seen a porn magazine, too. Mm-hmm. And it was like 1982 Hustler and shit like that. It was very...
Still a little bush. A whole
lot of bush.
My intro to porn, it wasn't even porn, but I found through a series of YouTube suggestions. I don't remember where I started.
Jesus.
But I ended up at Girls in Bikinis Fighting. And I was like, I like this for a different reason. I was watching, some of them were a little too violent. I'm like, all right,
tone it down.
But I was like, this is nice. And then I would start adding like little descriptors, be like, girls in bikini fight at pool party. Not realizing what I liked.
Redheaded girls in bikinis.
Not realizing what I liked, I kept in the fight for like a while. Fight.
Have you ever seen the fight porn?
No. What is it? Like, other than what I just described?
It's like literally, it's like a guy versus a girl, and they're like wrestling, but you also are having sex, and it's staged as. I don't know. Like, I can't tell if it's, like, real. Like, they will fight, and then he'll just, like...
I hope it's not real, because that's just rape you're describing.
Like, they're wrestling each other. Like, she'll, like, start sucking his dick, like, as a move to, like...
She puts him in the pile driver, but then, like, holds him there. Like, actually...
We'll watch a couple.
Okay, yeah.
We'll skim through.
Buy the DVD for the uncensored...
And we'll put it up right
here.
We are at 48 minutes.
That sounds like joke time.
I feel like that's joke time.
Let's do it.
Shuffle them up.
I mean, it's always obvious who Michael Stan wrote each of these for.
You gotta close your eyes.
Okay. And just tell take 3.
1.
Right, 3. How many do we have here? It's hard, making it hard to grab.
Well, I don't want you to feel them and know which one. 3. Oh, you want to do it? Here, you can have this one too. Fuck.
Okay. All right. What do you call a gay person that doesn't have a house?
What?
A no homo.
No homo?
They're so homeless, they're straight. The changes there.
No, a no homo.
A no home. Oh. No home. Oh. It's like sympathetic. Oh.
No homo.
Oh, that's funny. I liked it.
All right, I think I read this correctly.
Okay.
I recently got a gum stuck in my pubic hair.
Oh.
Yeah, so I put some peanut butter on it to simultaneously get the gum out and give my dog a nice treat.
Oh,
yeah.
A 2 for 1.
Little,
that's very...
2 birds, 1 stone, and a very happy dog.
They say, like, it's what do they call that? Found time. It's like about making your schedule efficient.
Yeah, my time is expensive.
Yeah. Okay. The best thing about stepsister porn is the accessibility. What with it happening across the hall and all.
What?
In this scenario, I still live at home with my family, and my stepsister is across the
live
hall.
porn.
Yes, it's so accessible. I gotta go to the internet. I just gotta peek.
Well, yeah.
That's definitely is the appeal of it. It's all those kids growing up being like, there's no reason I can't have sex with her. Like, what is?
She's not even my sister.
Dad says no.
Stupid dad. He doesn't understand. He didn't have a sexy stepsister. The only bad thing about playing strip poker with a homeless person is that
If you win.
Oh, that's an if.
Yeah.
Okay, it looked like an it.
I read it earlier.
The only bad thing about playing strip poker with a homeless person is that if you win, you have to take everything they own. Give me that pile of shit. Give me.
Yeah, well, it's their clothes. Now you own it all.
Ooh.
All right. Our bathroom fan broke, so we bought a new one online called the #1 bathroom fan. I'm not sure how well it has been working for the smell, but he really is our #1 bathroom fan. Very encouraging and always there to celebrate our best poops.
So he's like your #1 fan?
I like that. Yeah.
You read that really well.
Well, I didn't want to read ahead. I was like, let it be a surprise.
You read that better than when Mike Stan wrote it.
Mm-hmm.
This one's a little racy, Michael. What is the real reason Elon Musk wants to go to Mars?
What?
Because technically there are no Jews there yet.
Topical.
Very topical.
All right. Statistics and probability make me nervous. Because if the law of averages is true, eventually one of these prostitutes is going to murder me.
Whoa. That's a good one. All right, let's tag team this thing. 3,
Wait.
2, 1. Oh, so I have to go
Got
with this,
it.
like firearm. You get a nice little...
Yeah. All right. Well, we've had some good times.
And some smooth rhymes.
Here at the Moose Lounge.
Nice, dude.
Episode finished.
I thought you were going to say the number. Oh. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, my friends.